Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pakimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pakimam. Oma Pavitra, Pavitro Va, Sarva Avastang Gatopi Va, Yat Smaret Pundarika Akshang, Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchihi. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukhaṁ karoti vachalam pangum langhayate giri yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dina Taranam. Yat kripa tamaham vande Padamananda Madhavam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Charine. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarad Eva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, last class, we heard 2 episodes. We heard the entire philosophy of spiritual life in an abbreviated summation. And then we also heard Devaki requesting Krishna and Balaram to bring back her 6 sons from the dead. Because we remember from our very beginning of Krishna book how by the information from Narada, even though Kamsa allowed Vasudeva to take Devaki's first son, whose name was Kirtiman, when Narada came, Narada told Kamsa that, Kamsa, in your previous life, you were an Asura demon, and your name was Kalanemi, and you were killed by Lord Vishnu. But, my dear Kamsa, Narada said, again, Lord Vishnu is coming to kill you, and I wouldn't trust the omen, that the omen said the 8th child, but Narada said, no, it could be anyone. So after Narada said that, then Kamsa killed Devaki's first son, and then every year after that, she gave birth to 5 more sons, and Kamsa killed them. So the first 6 sons of Devaki were killed by Kamsa because of Narada's instigation. The 7th child was Balaram, and it appeared that Devaki had a miscarriage. But what actually happened was that Yogamaya attracted Balaram from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, who was a wife of Vasudeva, but she was staying with Nanda Maharaj in Gokula. Then, of course, the 8th child was Krishna, and he was immediately transferred right after birth and switched with the daughter who was born to Yashoda. So, we're going to finish this chapter. We're going to study 4 episodes. So this first one is called Krishna and Balaram Visit Sutala. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. After hearing their mother speak in this way, Lord Balaram and Krishna immediately called for the assistance of Yogamaya and started for the lower planetary system known as Sutala. Formerly, in his incarnation of Vamana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was satisfied by the king of the demons, Bali Maharaj, who donated to Vamana everything Bali had in his possession. Bali Maharaj was then given the whole of Sutala for his residence and kingdom. Now, when this great devotee Prahlad Maharaj saw that Balaram and Krishna had come to his planet, Bali Maharaj immediately merged into an ocean of happiness. As soon as Bali saw Krishna and Balaram in his presence, Bali Maharaj and all his family members stood up from their seats and bowed down at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Bali Maharaj offered Lord Krishna and Balaram the best seat he had in his possession. But when Krishna and Balaram were seated comfortably, Bali Maharaj began washing their lotus feet. Bali then sprinkled this water on his head and on the heads of his family members. We should know that the water used to wash the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram can purify even the greatest demigods such as Lord Brahma. After this, Bali Maharaj brought valuable garments, ornaments, sandalwood pulp, betel nuts, lamps, and various nectarian foodstuffs. And along with his family members, they all worshiped Lord Krishna according to the regulated principle. And Bali offered his riches and his own body unto the lotus feet of Krishna. King Bali was feeling such transcendental pleasure that Bali repeatedly grabbed the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and kept them on his chest. And sometimes Bali Maharaj put them on the top of his head. And in this way, Bali Maharaj was feeling transcendental bliss. Tears of love and affection began flowing down from Bali's eyes, and all of his hairs stood on end. Bali Maharaj began offering prayers to Lord Krishna in a voice which choked up intermittently. Now, there are some notes from the Bhagavatam on this section. Vasudev's love for Krishna had been disturbed because his awareness of Krishna's opulences conflicted with seeing Krishna as his son. In a different way, Devaki's love was somewhat distracted by her lamentation for her dead sons. So Krishna arranged to relieve Devaki of the mistaken idea that anyone else but him was actually her son. Since Devaki is known to be worshipped by all great souls, her show of maternal affection must actually have been an effect of Krishna's Yogamaya, who increases the pleasure of Krishna's pastimes. The Lord of Vaikuntha, Narayana, is but one expansion of Sri Krishna. Mahavishnu, the first creator, is Lord Narayan's expansion. The total material energy emanates from the glance of Mahavishnu, and the total material energy and the three modes of nature, which also is part of the material energy, are divided portions. Thus, Sri Krishna, acting through his expansions, generates, sustains, and dissolves the entire universe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Scene number 5 is entitled Bali Maharaj's Prayers. Bali Maharaj then prayed to Lord Krishna. First, he addressed Balaram. My dear Lord, you are the original Anantadeva. You are so great that Anantadev Shesha and other transcendental forms have originally emanated from you and Lord Krishna. My dear Lord, you are the original personality of Godhead, and your eternal form is all blissful and full of complete knowledge. Therefore, O Lord Balaram, you are the actual creator of the whole world. You are the original initiator and propounder of the systems of Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. You are the supreme Brahman, the supreme spirit, the original personality of Godhead. I therefore, with all respect, offer my obeisances unto both of you, Balaram and Krishna. My dear lords, it is very difficult for the living entities to get to see you. Yet, when you are merciful upon your devotees, then it becomes easy for them to see you. As such, only out of your causeless mercy have you agreed to come here and be visible to us, we who are generally influenced by the qualities of ignorance and passion. My dear Lord Krishna, we belong to the Daitya or demon category. The demons are demoniac persons such as Gandharvas, Siddhas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Pishachas, ghosts and hobgoblins are incapable by nature of worshiping you or becoming your devotees. Instead of becoming your devotees, they simply become impediments on the path of devotion. But opposed to them, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you represent all the Vedas, and you are situated in the mode of Shuddha Sattva, uncontaminated goodness. My dear Lord Krishna, your position is always transcendental. And for this reason, some of us, although born of the modes of passion and ignorance, have taken shelter of your lotus feet and thus have become your devotees. Some of us are actually pure devotees, and some of us have taken shelter of your lotus feet, desiring to gain something from our devotion. And by your causeless mercy only, we demons are in direct contact with your personality. This contact is not possible even for the great demigods. No one knows how you act through your Yogamaya potency. Even demigods cannot calculate the expanse of the activities of your internal potency. So, how is it possible for us to know it? O Lord, I therefore place my humble prayers before you. Please be kind to me, for I am fully surrendered unto you. Please favor me with your causeless mercy, so that I may simply remember your lotus feet, birth after birth. Indeed, my only ambition is that I may live alone, just like the Paramahamsas, who, traveling alone here and there, in great peace of mind, depend simply upon your lotus feet. I also desire that if I have to associate with anyone, that they may be only your pure devotees and no one else, because your pure devotees are always well-wishers of all living entities. My dear Lord Krishna, you are the Supreme Master and Supreme Director of the whole world. O Lord, Please, therefore, engage me in your service, and let me thus become freed from all material contaminations. My dear Lord, you can purify me in that way, because if someone engages in the loving service of your Lordship, he or she immediately becomes free from all kinds of regulative principles enjoined in the Vedas. Now, the purport to this section. The word Paramahamsa mentioned here means supreme swan, for it is said that the swan can draw milk out of a reservoir of water. It is able to take only the milk portion and reject the watery portion. Similarly, a person who can draw out the spiritual portion from this material world and who can live alone, depending only on the Supreme Spirit and not on this material world, is called Paramahamsa. When one achieves this Paramahamsa platform, one is no longer under the regulative principles of the Vedic injunctions. A Paramahamsa accepts only the association of pure devotees and rejects others who are too much materially addicted. In other words, those who are materially addicted cannot understand the value of the Paramahamsa. But those who are fortunately advanced in spiritual sense take shelter of the Paramahamsa and thus successfully complete the mission of human life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is scene number 6, entitled Krishna Reveals the Identity of the 6 Dead Sons of Devaki. Also, I want to remind, some of you had questions last week, so these next 2 final scenes is going to explain everything and most likely answer all your questions. After Lord Krishna heard the prayers of Bali Maharaj, Krishna spoke as follows. "O my dear Bali, king of the demons, in the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, the Prajapati known as Marichi begot 6 sons, all of them demigods, in the womb of his wife Urna. But once upon a time, Lord Brahma became captivated by the beauty of his daughter and was following her, impelled by sex desire. At that time, these 6 demigods looked at the action of Lord Brahma with abhorrence. And this criticism of Brahma's action by the demigods constituted a great offense on their part. And so, for this reason, these 6 demigods were condemned to take birth as the sons of the demon Hiranyakashipu. These sons of Hiranyakashipu were thereafter put into the womb of Mother Devaki, and as soon as they took birth, Kamsa killed them one after another. My dear Raj Bali, Mother Devaki is very anxious to see these 6 dead sons again, and she is very much aggrieved on account of their early death at the hands of Kamsa. But I know that all of them are living with you. I have decided to take them with me in order to pacify my mother, Devaki. After seeing my mother, all these 6 conditioned souls will be liberated, and thus in great pleasure they will be transferred to their original planet. The names of these 6 conditioned souls are as follows: Smara, Ugitha, Parishvanga, Patanga, Kshudrabrit, and Grinni. They will be again reinstated in their former position as demigods. Now we have some notes which will explain more of this. These are from the 10th canto purports. Acharyas Sridhar Swami and Vishwanath Chakravarti explain that after taking Marichi's 6 sons from Hiranyakashipu, Lord Krishna's Yogamaya first made them pass through one more life as children of another great demon, Kalanemi, who was Kamsa in his previous birth. Then Yogamaya finally transferred them to the womb of Devaki. Smara was the oldest of Marichi's 6 sons, but was known as Kirtiman when born again to Vasudeva, as was recorded in the 1st chapter of the 10th canto, where it was stated, Vasudeva was very much disturbed by the fear of becoming a liar by breaking his promise. Thus, with great pain, Vasudeva delivered his firstborn son, named Kirtiman, into the hands of Kamsa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Scene 7. Krishna returns the 6 dead sons to Devaki. So after thus informing the king of the demons, Krishna stopped speaking, and Bali Maharaj could understand Lord Krishna's purpose. Bali Maharaj worshipped Krishna sufficiently, and thereafter Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram took away the 6 conditioned souls and returned to the city of Dwaraka, where Krishna presented them as excuse me Bali Maharaj worshipped Krishna sufficiently, and thereafter Lord Krishna and Balaram took away the 6 conditioned souls and returned to the city of Dwaraka, where Krishna presented them as little babies before his mother Devaki. Mother Devaki became overwhelmed with joy and was so ecstatic in motherly feeling that immediately milk began flowing from her breasts, and she fed the babies with great satisfaction. Devaki began to take the 6 sons on her lap again and again, smelling their heads and thinking, "Oh, Krishna has gotten my lost children back." For the time being, Devaki became overpowered by the energy of Vishnu, and in great motherly affection, Devaki began enjoying the company of her 6 lost children. However, the milk from the breasts of Devaki was transcendental nectar, because the same milk had been sucked by Lord Krishna as a baby. As such, the babies who sucked the breasts of Devaki, which had touched the body of Lord Krishna, immediately became self-realized souls. The babies therefore began offering their obeisances to Krishna, Balaram, their father Vasudeva, and of course their mother Devaki. After this, the 6 sons were immediately transferred to their respective heavenly planets. After they departed, Devaki became stunned with wonder that her 6 dead children had come back and had again been transferred to their respective planets. Devaki could adjust the events only by thinking of Lord Krishna's pastimes, in which, because Lord Krishna's potencies are achintya, inconceivable, anything wonderful can be performed. For without accepting achintya shakti, or the inconceivable unlimited potencies of Krishna, one cannot understand that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Soul. This is known as achintya shakti. By Krishna's unlimited potencies, Krishna performs unlimited pastimes also, and no one can describe them in full, nor can anyone know them all. While speaking Srimad Bhagavatam before the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka Rishi, Sutta Goswami gave his verdict in this connection as follows. O great sages, please try to understand that the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna are all eternal. They are not ordinary narrations of historical incidences. Such narrations are identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Therefore, anyone who hears such narrations of Lord Krishna's pastimes immediately becomes freed from the contamination of material existence. And those who are pure devotees enjoy these narrations as nectar entering into their ears. Finally, such narrations were described by Shukadeva Goswami, the exalted son of Vyasadeva, and anyone who hears them, as well as anyone who describes them for the hearing of others, becomes Krishna conscious. And it is only the Krishna conscious persons who become eligible for going back home, back to Godhead. So that is how Prabhupada comments and finishes this chapter. But now we have further information in the purports of the 10th canto apart from Krishna book. Please listen with attention. There is indeed no question of Mother Devaki being affected by the material aspect of Maya. In the beginning of Krishna-lila, Lord Krishna remained as an infant with Devaki and Vasudeva for only a very short time. First, Krishna appeared before them in his four-armed Vishnu form, and after hearing the prayers of Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna changed himself into an apparently ordinary infant just for their pleasure. In order to save Krishna from suffering the same fate as his 6 brothers, Vasudeva at once removed Krishna from Kamsa's prison. Now listen carefully, everyone. Just before Vasudeva took Krishna away, Mother Devaki suckled Krishna once so that Krishna would not feel thirsty during the long trip to Nanda Vraja, Gokula. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlad Ahlada Dayane, Hiranya Kashipuravakshaha, Shilatankana Kalaye, Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsingo, Yato Yamitato Nrsinga, Bahi Nrsingo, Hridaye Nrsingo, Nrsingham Adim Sharanang Prapadye, Nrsingham Adim Sharanang Prapadye. Namaste Narasimhaya, Tavakara Kamala Vare, Nakam Adbhuta Sringam, Dalita Hiranya Kashipu, Tanu Bringam, Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Keshavadrita Nrsinga Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.